One of the most frustrating things about trying to lose body fat is that everyone tells you to eat fewer calories, but nobody tells you what those calories should look like. So you end up tracking your calories, restricting the foods that you love, trying to stay more disciplined while barely seeing any results. And then you watch somebody else eat the same amount of calories and get significantly different results from you. And why? That's because all calories don't affect your hunger, your fullness, and your cravings the same way. And most importantly, your body composition. So let me show you exactly what I mean. Most of us are taught only one thing when it comes to fat loss. It's about calories in, calories out, and you're supposed to eat less than you burn so that the weight can come off. And while technically that is true, it is bigger than that, and it's not so black and white because you can eat 1,500 calories, for example, and it's not coming from the right amount of macronutrients, whereas somebody else can eat the same amount of calories but completely different macros and get completely different results. So think of it like this. Calories is what's going to determine what's on the scale, and your macros is what's going to determine what you're actually made of. Whether the weight you lose is either fat or muscle, whether you stay full after eating, and whether you can actually stick to it weeks on long down the line. Your macros are just as important as your calories because that can determine if it's fat or muscle coming off, how your fullness is going to be after eating, and how defined and lean you are when you look into the mirror. And this is exactly why two women can eat the same amount of calories but have two completely different macro splits. One of them can build muscle and lean out while the other one can lose her shape and look skinny fat. So in this video, I'm going to be covering three things: calories versus macros, how to determine your calorie intake based on your goals, and how to actually determine macros that are right for you. All right, first up, calories versus macros. So calories is what's going to determine the number on the scale, and macros is what's going to determine how you're going to look. And here's a part that trips a lot of people up. Calories are just simply a measure of energy. So you can eat the same amount of calories from a salad and from a candy bar, and your body's not going to know the difference if we're talking just calories. You can hit the same amount of calories every single day, and they're coming from different sources of food, and you will look completely different. All right, now let's take these two meals, for example. These two meals have the same amount of calories, yet the macros and the fullness that you get from it are going to be completely different. With the first recipe here, notice how we're getting under 15 grams of protein, but we're getting the same amount of calories. It's probably not going to leave you too full for a couple of hours, and it's just not enough protein to help you hit your goal at the end of the day. Whereas the second meal here, same amount of calories, completely different results. We have more volume, so more food to keep you fuller, and we're hitting 50 grams of protein in this one meal. So this can be the difference between allowing your body to build and preserve more muscle so that you can actually look lean and defined. Because when you undereat on protein and you're in an excessive calorie deficit, not only will you lose body fat, a lot of the times you also tend to lose muscle. So making sure that your macros and your meals are aligned in order to help you get enough protein in can make you look significantly different. So these two meals can have completely different experiences within your body, and it's what can make the difference between you staying consistent and not staying consistent, because nobody wants to be starving at 10 in the morning after eating a meal. And that's exactly why macros matter. So make sure you stay tuned for the rest of this video because I'm going to be breaking down exactly how to determine your own macros. So now, before diving into macros, let's first talk about how to determine your calorie intake. Because before determining your macros, you need something to actually build them off of. Okay, so in order to determine your calorie deficit, you want to take your goal body weight and multiply it by either 10, 11, or 12. And I'm going to help you determine which number to multiply it by. So let's say, for simplicity's sake, my current weight is 200 pounds. Now my goal body weight is 150 pounds. Right? So I'm going to take 150 and multiply it by either 10, 11, or 12. So let's say you're somebody who lives a sedentary lifestyle. So let's say you work a 9-to-5 job where you sit at a desk and then you come home and then you sit on the couch and you get on average 3 to 4K steps per day. If that sounds like you, you're going to take your goal body weight and multiply it by 10. Now, if you're moderately active, so let's say you might sit at a desk all day, 9 to 5 p.m., and then after work you hit the gym, and on average you get around 8 to 10K steps. You're going to take your goal body weight and multiply it by 11. Now, if you're someone who's very active and you're training hard in the gym most days and you're hitting around 12 to 10K steps, you're going to take your goal body weight and multiply it by 12. Whatever number you fall into, that's going to be a rough estimate of your calorie deficit. So now, for simplicity's sake, I'm going to take 150, which is my goal body weight, and multiply it by 11 because I'm moderately active. It's going to give me 1,650. This is going to be my calorie deficit. Now, Now, this 1,650 calories isn't going to be perfect, right? When you track your food and you track your macros and your calories and you track your progress photos, your body measurements, and your weight over time, that's going to give you the data and the feedback that you need to understand exactly where you might need to adjust your calories. But in overall, this is going to drop you in a good range. Don't just apply this equation and say, oh, this is going to be the perfect number for me to stick to for weeks and months on end. You still have to compare it to other indicators of progress. That's the part where you really need to be intentional, because this isn't just a guess. This is the starting point, not the permanent number. Once you apply this equation and you determine your calorie deficit, you then want to work within a range. So don't get so obsessed over hitting 1,650 calories. So give yourself around 100 calories under and 100 calories over. So if all of these numbers apply to you, what this is going to look like is your range of calories for your deficit is going to be 1,550 calories to 1,750 calories. So this is going to give you the perfect range to work within. As long as you stay in a calorie deficit each week by week, you will see fat loss. So if you're somebody who's extremely active or maybe managing a medical condition, the numbers that I just walked you through won't really apply to you, and that's a different conversation for one-on-one coaching. So if you feel like that's something that would benefit you, I want you to click on the first link down below in the description to book a one-on-one call with me just to see if I can help. Okay, so now that we've determined what ideally our calorie deficit is going to be, we need to then determine what that's going to be made out of. So when it comes to macronutrients, there's three main splits. There's a standard macronutrient split, there's a high protein macronutrient split, and there's a low carb macronutrient split. So let's dive into each. Now, if you're determining which one you should focus on, and ideally your goal is just to maintain your weight, maintain your current physique, then you want to go for a balanced macronutrient split. So this is where 40% of your calories is coming from carbs, 30% of your calories is coming from protein, and the remaining 30% is coming from fat. If you're working towards fat loss and body recomposition, so if you're trying to get your body fat percentage down and build muscle at the same time, then stick with a high protein macronutrient split. So this is where 40% of your calories is coming from protein, 30% of your calories is coming from carbs, and the remaining 30% is then coming from fat. Now, if you have a significant amount of body fat to lose, so 50 plus pounds of body fat, or if you're pre-diabetic or diabetic, then you want to go for a low carb macronutrient split. So this is where 40% of your calories is coming from protein, 20% of your calories is coming from carbs, and the remaining 40% is coming from fat. So before we dive into each macronutrient split, I want you to understand these three rules. For every 1 gram of protein that you eat, you're going to be getting 4 calories. For every 1 gram of carb that you eat, you're also going to be getting 4 calories. Now, this is where it significantly changes. For every 1 gram of fat, you're going to be getting 9 calories. Keep these 3 rules in mind. So now let's dive into each. No matter which one you pick, I want you to start by building out your meals with your protein first. Protein is going to help you build and preserve muscle, and that's going to be your metabolic anchor when it comes to losing body fat, especially in the long run. It's going to help to improve your metabolism and increase your independence as you get older, because as a nurse, I see the outcome of not having enough muscle. So let's dive into the high protein macronutrient split, because for most women nowadays, their goal is to lose body fat, build muscle, and build and maintain a lean physique. So now we know what our calorie deficit is, right? We have 1,650 calories. So let's determine first how many calories are going to be coming from protein. As you can see here with this macronutrient split specifically, 40% of it is coming from protein. So what you want to do is take 1,650 and multiply that by 40%. So let's bring it back to our middle school days. 40% in decimal form is going to be 0.40. So 1,650 times 0.40. We're pulling out the calculator again. 1,650 times 0.40 is going to give us 660 calories. This is how many calories we're going to be getting from just protein. So now remember the rule that I just mentioned to keep in mind. For every 1 gram of protein, you're going to be getting 4 calories. Now, in order to determine how many grams of protein you're going to be getting with this specifically, what you want to do is take the calories we just got, so 660, and then you want to divide that by 4. 660 divided by 4 is going to give us 165. 165 grams of protein. That's how many grams of protein you should be eating each day if you're focusing on a high protein macronutrient split, if your goal is to lose body fat, build lean muscle, and your calorie deficit is around 1,650. So here's a quick recap. We took our calorie deficit and multiplied that by 0.40 because 40% of our calories are coming from protein, but we have to multiply that number in decimal form. So that's going to give us 660 calories. And we know that that's the amount of calories that's going to be coming from protein. And we know that for every 1 gram of protein, we're getting 4 calories. So in order to determine how many grams of protein we need for each day, we took 660 calories and divided it by 4, referencing back to this. And that's going to give us 165 grams. So now you're saying, oh my God, Caitlin, that makes so much sense. But how do I determine what foods to eat? We know 165 grams is the goal, right? If you're eating 3 meals per day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, simply take 165 grams and multiply that by 3. 165 divided by 3 is going to give us 55. Each meal, make the goal hitting 55 grams of protein, non-negotiable. So what we just did, we took our grams of protein, 165 divided by 3 meals per day. That's going to give us 55 grams. 55 grams of protein for each meal, 3 meals per day. So what does this look like in real life to make the goal of 55 grams of protein? So for example, for breakfast, this can look like going for 1 cup of egg whites and 4 ounces of cooked chicken breast with 1 whole egg. This is going to give you roughly 55 grams of protein and it's going to keep you full for hours because we're loading up with protein. All right, so now let's dive into carbs. We know that 30% of our calories are coming from carbohydrates. So if we take our calorie deficit of 1,650 and multiply that by 0.30, that's going to give us 495 calories. So 495 calories is going to be coming from carbohydrates. Now again, going back to our rule of thumb, for every 1 gram of carb, we're getting 4 calories. So if we take 495 and divide that by 4, that's going to give us roughly 124 grams of carbs. 124 grams of carbs for each meal. So now what does this look like in real life? You want to take 124 grams and divide that by 3 if you're having 3 meals per day. So that's going to give us 41 grams of carbs for each meal. So now for breakfast, this can look like adding on a banana and 1 cup of berries, for example. This is going to help give you carbs and fiber to give you stable energy throughout the day. Because remember, you don't have to restrict your carbs if your goal is fat loss. You just need better quality carb sources and to portion them appropriately. So here's a quick recap. We took our calorie deficit and we multiplied that by 0.30. Now the reason why we did that is because 30% of our calories are going to be coming from carbs. Now we know that once we apply this equation, we're going to be getting 495 calories coming from carbs alone. Now we know that for every 1 gram of carb is giving us 4 calories. So in order to determine how many grams of carbs we need for the day, we want to take our calories of 495 and divide that by 4. That's going to give us 127 grams of carbs. So now dividing that by 3 is going to give you 42 grams. Simply plug that into ChatGPT and say, hey, I want 42 grams of carbs for each meal for 3 meals per day. What is that going to look like? So for this high protein macronutrient split, we know that 30% of our calories are coming from carbs and 30% of our calories are coming from fat. Those two numbers are the same. So whatever math you apply for either or, it's going to give you the exact same number. So you really only need to do the math twice. Since this number is different for our protein, 40 grams, you apply that equation that we just did for protein, and you apply the same equation for carbs and fat because these numbers are the same, and you only need to do that once. So now our equations that we focused on for the high protein macronutrient split, when it comes to the other two, everything is going to be the exact same in terms of the math that you have to do. The only difference is going to be the numbers that you're going to be eating because as you can see, these macronutrient splits are different. Now the difference with the standard versus the high protein, which most women ideally should be eating in, is you're going to be getting more carbs. And now the difference between a low carb is you're simply going to be getting less carbs and more protein and fat. For almost all of my clients, we usually focus on a high protein macronutrient split because we love to lift heavy weights, right? We want to build muscle. We want to build a lean physique. We want definition. So we want to make sure that we're eating enough protein in order to build back what we just broke down in the gym. Now, you can also still build muscle and lose body fat while eating a standard macronutrient split. This one one is actually still great because it's going to allow you to eat more carbs, which you can think about timing appropriately. If you're lifting heavy or with high intensity in the gym, you want to think about pairing majority of your carbs closer to around your workout. So this is actually going to give you a little bit more wiggle room to fit in more carbs so that you can train harder in the gym and improve your performance. Now, for some of my clients, we rarely focus on the low carb macronutrient split. Sometimes we do because your body's primary fuel source is carbohydrates. So notice how this is a little bit on the lower end, only 20%. Carbohydrates isn't your body's only fuel source, but it's your body's primary fuel source. So some of my clients might complain that they're feeling tired, they're feeling sluggish throughout the day, and they just feel weaker in the gym if ideally we focus on a lower carb split. And the way that I coach my clients to get them results like this, we're hitting numbers in the gym that they've never thought that they were able to hit before. We're pushing the intensity. We're hitting new milestones. So we want to make sure that we adequately fuel for that. In order to do that, a high protein or a standard macronutrient split is best. Now, if you're pre-diabetic or diabetic and you receive your lab results that your A1C is close to 5.7, if not greater than 5.7, then ideally utilizing a low carb split might be beneficial for you. If you don't want to go low carb and you want to focus on a high protein or standard, then maybe this is going to look like incorporating more movement and more walking after you eat your meals, especially a high carb meal. All right, you guys, so let's bring all of this back together. Calories is what's going to determine the number on the scale, and macronutrients is what's going to determine what that number is made up of and how you're going to look when you look into the mirror. Figure out your calorie deficit first based off of how physically active you are, then apply the equation of determining which macronutrient split is right for you. And remember, when it comes to plating your food and plating your meals, start with building protein first. Protein is going to be your metabolic anchor. It's going to help you build and preserve your lean muscle, and it's going to help keep you fuller for longer. All right, you guys, if you found this video helpful in order to help you determine what your calorie deficit should be and what macronutrient split is right for you and how to actually determine your macros, give this video a like, and most importantly, don't forget to subscribe because this channel was made specifically for you. And if you want more direct one-on-one help and support to help you lose 10 plus pounds of body fat and build lean muscle, I want you to click on the first link down below in the description to book a one-on-one call with me just to see if I can help. From there, it'll take you through a short form asking you a couple of questions about you and your goals, and make sure you answer it honestly. This just helps me determine if I can actually help you. So click on the first link down below in the description and we'll chat soon.